Hi, I'm Anthony for Sydney Backyard Veggies. Today is the 11th of July and it is now time for me to start my tomato seedlings. Planning to get my tomatoes planted out in my patch in mid-August, so I need to have that 3 to 4 week period to grow them out. I'm going to grow a lot of tomatoes this season, and I'm going to grow a few varieties that I grew last year, which are my staples, but I'm also going to try a couple of new varieties that I've found over the last few weeks. I'm going to be planting in the order of about 60 seedlings today, but before I do that, I just want to show you the varieties I am planting out. So this season I'm going to be sticking with my mainstay variety for the majority of the tomatoes I'm going to be planting out today. The variety is called Thunder, and I've been growing this variety for the last 3 years. I grow this generally with another variety called Dankia, but I found that this one develops a nicer tomato. It's a larger tomato and is a lot more prolific, so I've decided to move over to this variety and I'll be planting this in the majority of my patch. This year I'm also going to try a new variety of tomato that I've recently found online. This is from Petra Seeds, and they sell retail quantities of commercial grade seeds as well, so happy to give them a go. I've decided to try out the Farah, which is very similar to, from what I see, very similar to the Thunder in that it's a round tomato. And I just want to see how it works in my microclimate here in Sydney. For my cherry variety, I'm going to be sticking to the Sugarino. Again, this is my mainstay go-to cherry tomato. Very sweet and very productive. I'm going to grow probably 5 from my backyard, but I will also grow a few out for family and friends, whoever wants some of these seedlings. And finally, today I received my new batch of jalapeno seeds, Jedi. Running a bit late, but I should be able to plant these out in mid to late September. So for the Thunder, I'm going to be planting a 32 cell punnet. Again, I like to plant the seeds in cells that are quite deep because I'm not going to put these seedlings on. 20 of the seedlings are going to be mine, and I'll be handing out the rest of the seedlings to family and friends who have requested some seeds. Similar to what I did with my other spring seedlings, I've filled the trays with store-bought seed raising mix. I've wet the soil down, and I'm just putting one seed per cell, and then I'll be covering it with vermiculite. For the Sugarino, I'm going to try to plant a punnet of 10 seedlings. Again, 5 for me and a couple for my family and friends. And in the last tray, I'm going to plant 10 of the Farah and give them a go this year in my patch. And as with all my seedlings that I plant, just going to give them a covering of vermiculite, and then they will go indoors to germinate. So I just finished starting off those tomato seedlings, and I'm expecting that they will germinate in about 5 to 7 days, and I should be able to grow them out for another 3 weeks before I plant them out in the garden. The jalapenos should take a little bit longer to germinate. Expecting them to be about 15 to 18 days for them to germinate. But what I'm doing is I'm going to show you my latest batch of seedlings. Now, I did start a few seedlings in my last video, and I want to show you the progress of those, but also wanted to show you my other brassica seedlings and my pak choi seedlings that I started about 2 weeks ago. And they're actually at that point where they should be getting planted out if later this week or early next week. These are the seedlings that I've started over the last few weeks, and generally speaking, once they germinate indoors, they pretty much spend the whole day out here in the sun. As long as they have been watered in the morning, I find that having the direct sun straight onto the seedlings does them wonders. It really makes sure they grow really well. This is the cauliflower seedlings. This is now week 3, I think, week 3 from germination. So they are now on their second true leaf, and these are ready to be planted out. I'm actually going to try to plant them out this weekend. I'm trying to find a few nice spots for them. But as you can see, they're just a really nice looking seedling. They might need a little bit of water, but they're looking really good and they're ready to go. I've also started my second last round of broccoli. Now this here is 40 seedlings, and this variety is Aurora, and they germinated a week ago, so they're already starting just to show their first true leaf. And again, I need to find a few spots in my patch to plant these out, but these will be planted out in two weeks time. Now my spring seedlings, this is my eggplant, and the eggplant have germinated. I had planted 12, and I've actually got 12 seeds germinated, which is excellent. Now these germinated on day 14, so these germinated 14 days after I planted them out, which was what I expected, and they are growing well. I need to give them a first round of fertilizer to really get them going. I'm expecting to plant these out in early September, but so far so good. 100% germination. And over here, this is my 7 punnets of pak choi, and this is pak choi. Again, I grew all these because I'm going to plant these out in my cauliflower patch to take up the space while I'm waiting for the tomatoes to grow. These will be planted out next week. They're ready to go. They're not far to go. I've given them their fertilizer. They're responding really well, and they're doing really well in this direct sun spot. Now I did, with my other seedlings, I did plant out capsicums as well, and I planted out those 2 punnets of capsicums. I'm now on day 17, and so far I have not seen any germination in those seeds. I'm going to give them up to day 21. They have taken that long in the past to germinate, but I'm anxious that I may have planted seeds that are probably old, even though I did buy them last year. But I'll see how I go. There's still time in the season. If they don't germinate, I'll get some fresh seeds and I will start them again. But I'm over in my main patch, and I was just coming over here, starting to get dark, and I was hoping to do some harvesting before the dusk. There's a few things I need to harvest. I've got more cauliflower, as you can just see just there behind me, and I've got a few peas. I might harvest a few wombocks and some broccoli, but I'm going to start over here, show you where my cauliflower patch is, pick a few heads and then move from there. So this is the second planting of cauliflower, and I've harvested about 2/3 of the patch now, and there's still a few nice heads here to go. Biggest issue I had was a lot of the heads that I harvested were actually full of slugs, which is pretty disappointing, especially at this back end here. The slug problem here was a lot heavier, and some of them I've left them just go a little bit long, so you get a little bit of a purple discoloration, but that's not a issue. I'm going to try to actually harvest probably most of these, if not all. They're just, I'm not going to get much more growth. Maybe I'll leave these ones to grow a little bit longer. We're going to try to grab at least 2 or 3. Harvested 7 heads of cauliflower in that location, and I've probably got 1 or 2 heads left, which I'll clear out at the end of the week so I can plant out those pak choys. But I'm over now at my wombocks. These need to go, but I'm going to only harvest 2 at the moment, probably 2 of the front ones, and take them inside because yeah, they're looking quite good, but I just need to start clearing this space as well because I want to start planting a few more lettuces in this spot. There we go. This one looks like it's starting to rot a bit, and as you can see, yeah, it looks like it's rotted, so I might just feed this to the chickens. But what I'll do is I'll harvest the one adjacent. There you go. That's 2. So just harvested those 2 heads of wombok, and the rest of them will be harvested at the end of the week. I'll clear that whole bed. Still got my second planting coming through, and they're looking really good. I'll show you those in a minute, but before I do that, I'm over at my 3rd planting of broccoli here, as you can see there, and I've got at least 2 heads I want to harvest here. I do want to show you the patch before I harvest them, and then I'll probably get those 2 larger heads. This is the patch, and they're looking quite nice. One thing I did notice is this spot is actually quite a shaded spot at the moment, even though I did prune back the avocado and the lemon tree a bit to get a bit more sun in this spot. It's not as sunny location as you have in that front main bed, but I find with brassicas they need full sun. The more sun is actually one of the most important things to get. You will get a harvest if there's less sun, but if you can get full sun, full all-day sun, it will give you the optimal conditions for them to produce. Now, looking at these, that head, and probably this head too, and potentially 3 heads. That one might be able to grow out just a little bit longer, but definitely these 2 heads. I'll quickly grab those there now before it gets too dark. There you go. So I just finished our harvest, and I've got 7 heads of cauliflower, 2 broccoli, and 2 womboks. These will go inside. I'll give them a wash. Just the slugs have been really hard this season, especially with the rain we had pretty late. So, but hopefully most of them will start being cleared out. And just wanted to show you, I'm going to start harvesting cabbages soon. Really excited by how well these cabbages look. Let's put you next to this cabbage. They're looking quite big. Now, I speak to my old man and he would like me to see me grow these out a bit longer, but I feel at the part of the season that I need to start harvesting them because I'm not going to clear this bed in time for spring. So probably 1 a week, start with the larger ones and then keep growing them out. But also quite excited, so quite surprisingly actually, is how nice the red cabbage is. They're not as big as the green cabbage, but they're looking really good for first time grower. I'm really happy with these. And before I wrap up this video, I just wanted to show you what I'm looking at doing this weekend in the patch. Yeah, over at the cauliflowers, hoping to clear the rest of this bed this weekend. This has to all go, and I'm going to prepare this bed for pak choy, which I'll be planting in most of the bed, and maybe in the back a quick late planting of radish. But really thinking now about preparing this soil for the tomatoes, which will be planted in mid-August. I was thinking of planting those cauliflower seedlings over here, and this is the old broccoli patch. Still not getting full sun on this spot, and I'm really anxious that if I plant my cauliflowers here, they're not going to develop to their full potential. So what I'm second guessing myself, and I might be planting them over here instead. Those seedlings could probably last another week, so I'm hoping to clear at least the rest of these maybe by Sunday, at which point I can plant my seedlings in this spot. But over here this weekend, I need to finish off working on this tree. I've left the last of the lemons, and the lemons have all gone yellow. Citrus needs its fertilizer now, so I need to come through and fertilize all my citrus trees all the way across. I've finished off picking the last of the mandarins at the back, but my honey myrcos is just ready to start. And one final thing I need to do this weekend is I really need to start removing the interplanted pak choy. So over here at my cabbages, and this pak choy here is ready to go. So nice way to use space in your garden. I need to move these on because they actually start to overshadow the cabbages next to each other, next to them. So I'll move these on, give them a clean this weekend, and give another round of fertilizer to the cabbages. Yeah, so it looking really good. And actually, while I'm here, got to really clean up this corner. I need to prepare this corner. I'm going to be planting, I've got a whole bunch of lettuce seedlings Dad's bought in bulk, and I'm going to look at planting out this whole corner with lettuce seedlings, again taking up that space while I wait for springtime to come along. Yeah, so really excited. This weekend's going to be a big weekend in the patch, and I'm hoping everyone else is out there enjoying their time in the garden as well. Thank you very much everyone for joining me in this video. I really appreciate the support, and I hope to see you in the next one.